So today on Searching for History, we're at the Dickman Mill in what is called Old Tacoma, along Rustin Way, kind of between Tacoma and Rustin. Commencement Bay is behind us, but we're at the Dickman Mill, which is a historic sawmill, started in the late 1800s, and we're going to take a look at it today. Are you ready, Erin?
I'm ready. Come along with us.
Yeah, so here's the Dickman Mill, and you can see here that here's the whole lumber wharf full of milled lumber, and then you have the mill part right here, and then you have log booms where the raw logs are floating there waiting to run through the mill. See here too. Look at the bike that's hanging up there. So this is the old Dickman Mill site. So all along this waterfront in what was called or is called Old Tacoma, there's sawmills that ran the whole way down to Rustin, and this was a sawmill. I think it started sometime in like the 1890s. It's kind of the first incarnation of it, maybe a little earlier. All those pilings out there you see were once supported a deck structure, and that structure actually went all the way up across the beach to this upper area and then connected to the concrete structures down there. And so that was a big lumber loading deck where ships would come in. But now all you see is just these hundreds of piling.
If you've made it this far and you like this video, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button.
So you can see there's still some evidence of the deck that used to be on top of it. Beams going across some of the piling. Of course, the iron or steel spikes are in the top of each piling. Of course, these are creosote pilings, so they're not that great for the environment.
What exactly is creosote?
It's like a hydrocarbon type petroleum product that's used, where they dip the logs in it and then it absorbs it.
And it was like a preservative for those
preserves
those
the piling.
Yeah. But they don't use that anymore, or the industry is not supposed to.
It's not being used for in-water applications anymore.
Right.
At least as far as I know in Puget Sound. I'm sure in other parts of the world it's still being used.
Right.
So here's some original concrete foundation. Yeah, so it starts talking about lumber put Tacoma on the map, and for over 100 years, wood products made this community the lumber capital of America. Yeah, Metro Parks acquired the site in 1991. And this references a 1979 fire. So in 1979, someone had purchased the mill property, and but they were in the process of, they're going to use it convert it to something new, and they were in the process of salvaging and removing buildings, and then there was a fire. I don't know if the causes are known, but and it burnt it down, and that was kind of the end of the Dickman Mill. So what we're seeing here is apparently this is the original head saw from the mill, and this is the carriage that moved on rails that would bring a very large log. You know, just imagine it was old growth logs, and would move them past the blade there and to saw the logs. It's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, that'd have to be a huge log.
Yeah, it was specifically designed to handle enormous old growth logs. The head was installed in 1923. The real question is it anywhere near the original location?
Yeah.
Or did they just stick it somewhere? It's hard to know.
Well, there's a map here. But, yeah, I don't know where
Yeah, it could be in that building.
In this complex of buildings, they would have had that.
Well, the concrete foundation should still exist where it was mounted, but I don't know. I think that looks newer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be close enough to where they have the logs coming in so they can load the logs into it.
And look, they reused the old bricks that I'm hoping there's still some down on the beach out of the hog burner.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those say Alamo, so that they have the maker's mark on each brick. I'm seeing a lot of Alamo, T-car. There's a Walsh X. So I read in an old Tacoma Tribune article that the original owner, I think his last name was Danaher. But anyway, the original owner one morning was found hung off the pier out there. Hung off the wharf, I guess you'd call that. Apparently committed suicide. Yeah. Yeah, let's go down on the beach there and look at the bricks. So right here, this circular area, this is where what's called a hog fuel burner would have existed. So it was like a steel domed structure, and that's where they would burn the sawdust and the leftovers from milling logs. And then there's kind of a screen on the top to catch most of the embers, but that's how they dealt with that waste product.
Yeah.
The Dickman wigwam burner, removed in the 1960s. Bark, short planks, imperfect boards, and broken scraps have fueled the wigwam burner.
I mean, look at all that.
apparently some portion of this was lined with bricks. I think those bricks, when this was torn down, spilled out, and that's what you see all along the beach there.
Along here.
Yeah. Yeah, see those piles of bricks?
Yeah.
And it looks like there's like a crisscross of access passage, or oxygen would pull in through there to create a draft. That's probably what that was doing.
By the early 1900s, Tacoma's lumber production was estimated at 100 million board feet per day.
Yeah, so it talks about during World War I, the lumber industry really ramped up to meet the needs of the war effort.
Yeah, I think people forget that a lot of our airplanes were made out of wood.
Yeah, out of spruce. And they were still building ships out of wood.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, a lot of cargo ships.
Yep. Yeah, you can see that right here.
Yeah.
The last mill on Rustin Way closed in 1977. Oh, here's the bricks. They're all covered in barnacles.
Yeah, come over here. We'll try to find ones with maker's marks. I've looked up quite a few of these bricks, the maker's marks, and a lot of them actually come from the United Kingdom. So what's going on is ships would use the bricks as ballast, and then they would sail from the United Kingdom all the way to here, and then either sell or unload the bricks, and then put forest products, you know, milled wood back on the ships, things like that, to take back. And then the bricks were then utilized, and I believe in this purpose, as fire bricks inside this, what they call the wigwam burner. But let's look and see if we can still find some maker's marks.
You can see the heat stain on them.
Unfortunately, these seem to be getting quite weathered.
Yeah.
They may have gathered up all the ones with the maker's marks on them
and put them over there. I think so.
Okay, here's one here.
Find one.
So this is one it says T-car. You can barely see it, but it is like TCARR. So we'll look that up when we get home. Oh, what's this say, Aaron? It's like R green.
Something green. Pea green.
And what's the lower part?
I can't really tell in this light.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think I have some photographs for when I've been here and taken pictures of them before. Yeah, here's one. It's AP something ID. I think it's Idaho. Pretty cool.
Wow. That thing would have been massive, going all the way up there like that.
What's your impression of the Dickman Mill site?
It's a really interesting site. I like how they've made it, I guess, more viewable. I sort of wish, I don't know, they couldn't really do this. I wish they could have a model of what it might have looked like and not just pictures. Because sometimes you see that at different archaeological sites where you have like a model of what it would have looked like.
I think they had a few photographs in some of those informational panels.
They had some photographs, but I think like for those of us who are kind of more, I don't know, 3D people.
Now, I like the choice of keeping the concrete structures.
Yes, I do too.
So that they're not completely erasing this history from the
landscape.
You know, this Rustin Way waterfront.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time until just the forces of nature remove all of these pilings, or there's actually a restoration project to remove them.
Right.
So, I mean, one way or another, all the wood components are going to disappear.
Right.
But I like the fact that all this concrete and the bricks are remaining.
Yeah, I like that too. Because we can't forget that we've had industry here for a long time.
But there's not going to be any more industry here along Rustin Way. This is all turned into, it's being gentrified. It's turning into parks and it's hotels, and at the far end, the Point Defiance end, there's condominiums. I mean,
true.
There isn't going to be industry in this stretch probably ever again.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of crazy to think that a lot of these bricks came all the way from the United Kingdom?
I kind of love that they had bricks as ballast, and then they used them for something else.
There was a local brick industry, but it was small scale.
Yeah.
So I could see it being a product that people would purchase.
I mean, almost like it's a fortune in bricks. Like you could repurpose this thing that was just used as ballast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure oxygen would have sucked into here to create I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
A draft.
Yeah, to create a draft. So I believe there would have been a conveyor that went out this pier for unloading sawdust into other ships.
Yeah.
So down there where log booms would have floated. I mean, there is a lot of brick, so apparently there was more brick than just what my hypothesis of it being in the wigwam burner.
Right.
Because there's brick everywhere.
I think there were more buildings that were made out of brick.
Yeah.
Or maybe foundations.
I mean, look, there's brick everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, that was our look at Dickman Mill. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I mean, if you look out there, you can see broken stubs of piling. So, I mean, it is one by one
Yeah.
going away.
Yeah.